In this episode, the NASCAR season wraps up in Phoenix. Iron Dames is set to make their debut in IMSA. And Cadillac just wrapped up a test for LMDh at Sebring. Welcome to episode 135 of the Weird Auto Show. What's up, Derek?
Mr. Michael Rowell, over the past weekend, there was some racing.
There was only some. There wasn't actually a lot.
You're right, but there was one specifically that we had hyped up.
Yes.
That the whole world had hyped up, to be honest.
Well, frankly, I'm not going to say the world hyped it up. It was one man that hyped the world that then hyped it up.
Yes. Ross Chastain.
Yes, when Chastain did that wall ride maneuver that slingshotted him, he did a full Ricky Bobby move on him.
Pretty epic. But what that set up was this race at Phoenix. Mm-hmm. And this is the NASCAR Championship finale, the last race of the season.
Yep.
The NASCAR Championship had yet to be decided. There were 4 drivers in the playoffs remaining. Mm-hmm. There was Joey Logano. Mm-hmm. There was Ross Chastain, Christopher Bell, and Chase Elliott.
Yes.
So between those 4 drivers, we were going to get a champion.
Yeah.
And whoever took the win over the best place finisher of those 4 drivers would win the championship.
Yep.
Did you watch any of the race?
I watched about 2 minutes of highlights.
Perfect. All you need to know is that there was no wall ride.
Oh, damn.
Yes.
That's the only reason I'm going to watch NASCAR now.
I know. That's why most people were watching that race, to be honest. There was no wall ride. There was no Denny Hamlin punting Ross Chastain. There was no Chase Elliott punting Ross Chastain.
There were Kyle Larson incident.
Nope. No big rivalries, no fights. To be honest, it was kind of boring.
It's kind of just like a regular NASCAR race.
Yeah.
Where there was some crashes and some cars that didn't last, and I kind of think that was it.
Yeah. A bit underwhelming compared to what happened the race prior.
Mm-hmm.
And there are rumors, there are people saying that they should flip-flop these 2 races. Martinsville should be the finisher, and this should be the second to last race.
Why?
Because of the Chastain incident.
Because
Because it would be more exciting to have that happen in the final race of the season instead of racing at a track like Phoenix where the wall ride isn't very practical to do.
I see.
Yes.
Ah.
Interesting idea. Will it happen? I suspect not. We'll find that out when their next year's season comes out.
Yeah, totally agree.
So, during this race, was there anything real interesting that happened?
From the highlights, I saw just a bunch of crashes. There was just a bunch of regular NASCAR crashes where people are just kind of bumping and then they bump themselves too much. And then someone gets punted or, well, not really even a punt, just a little bit of a rubbing his racing incident. There's a bunch of those.
Yes.
I think there's the new gen car that was unreliable.
It catches itself on fire. It's
correct.
A nice feature.
Mm-hmm. Yes, nice and safe. Yeah, I think that's kind of it.
That was basically it. The race did come down to the winner winning the championship, which I'm a fan of that.
I like to see that.
That's super cool. It's kind of odd when you get someone winning the race and then like 5 drivers back, that guy wins the championship, and then you got 2 people doing burnouts and 2 people celebrating. And in this case, that didn't happen. So Joey Logano took the win of the race and he took the win of the championship.
Mm-hmm.
And Ross Chastain finished 3rd in the race and 2nd in the championship.
Good for him.
Yes.
Because if he didn't do that move the previous race, he wouldn't have been there.
Nope. At best, he would have been in 5th in the championship. And now he's 2nd.
Yep.
So, very good move for him. Overall, kind of boring.
Yes, but a note on Joey Logano's win. Joey Logano, this makes this his 2nd championship win. So he's won once before. Now, do you know who he drives for?
I think he drives a Penske
Bingo.
team.
Any other Penskes make any notable wins this year?
Penske, did Penske win the Indy?
Penske won the Indian championship as well as a team.
Yes.
So Roger Penske becomes the first man to own a team that wins both the NASCAR season and the Indy season in the same season.
The championship for both series.
Oh, so that's pretty cool if you think about it.
That is neat.
And now that means, going back to a race series that you and I watch a bit more, since we know the Penske's are going to be much more involved with the Porsche LMDh or the GTP car for IMSA, so that's the top class of racing. If this all lines up together, we could potentially have one team to win the NASCAR championship, the Indy championship, the IMSA championship, as well as the Endurance Cup, which is like the Rolex, the Sebring, and then also win the WEC championship and the 24 Hours of Le Mans. That could, in theory, be one team to win all of it. Since Penske is going to be running the Porsche 963 LMDh or GTP car.
Can't think of another team that could do all of that.
I don't think... Chip Ganassi?
Yeah, that's the only other one.
Yeah, because Chip Ganassi's running the Cadillac, right?
Right. And they're running Indies, right? In Indy?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're running in NASCAR. Wait, are they running in NASCAR?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in theory, Ganassi could do it.
You could either have Penske or Chip Ganassi win, well, everything.
Everything but F1.
Yeah. Pretty well. Yeah, if you think
Wow.
about it. That's an intense thought to think about.
Yes, it is.
I mean, that's wild.
Interesting. I believe that this is the second championship that Logano has won. I don't
Correct.
think this is his first.
Yeah, like I said, this is Logano's second of the NASCAR Cup championships. So he's a two-time winner. Good for him.
Puts him securely in the good driver list. Not the legend list, but the good driver list.
Correct. I would not classify him as a legend yet.
He's still relatively young, too.
Still got some time for that.
But Chastain, straight to legend. Straight to legend.
100%. Leapfrog everyone in front of him. Whoop. Absolute legend.
So we'll see what happens with the schedule next season. We'll see if they swap the two races around. I suspect they won't. We'll see what happens. But that's pretty much it for NASCAR, and we won't really hear about NASCAR much until there might be some grumblings going on about what they're going to do in the preseason with their new car, because I've heard that NASCAR is footing the bill for the safety changes that all the drivers are requesting.
Good for them.
As they should. It is their car that they mandate.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very stiff and has catching on fire problems and yada, yada, yada. We'll see what happens with the testing in the preseason, and then we'll see what happens when the Daytona Speed Week stuff roll around.
Yeah, there may be some small news about, like you said, preseason testing stuff, and then also maybe potential driver drama. Other than that, that's pretty much all we got for NASCAR until next, year, frankly.
That's pretty much it.
That's kind of wild to say if you think about it. So yeah, that's NASCAR at the championship race at Phoenix. Shall we move on?
Sure.
So let's move on to some IMSA action, the International Motorsports Association. That is our local series that we watch with, the Daytona, Sebring, Road America, that kind of stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there is some news about an all-female squad making a debut.
Ooh.
The Iron Dames, a team of Iron Lynx, who had for a long time been racing the WEC, which is kind of the international version of IMSA, right? Now, Iron Dames has always been racing the Ferrari 488 GT3 car.
The girls currently drive a pink Ferrari, don't they? In the WEC.
That is no more.
Huh.
Iron Lynx is switching to Lamborghini.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're going to be driving the new version of the Huracan GT3 car. I think it's the Evo 2 is what they call it at this point.
But they're keeping the ladies lineup.
Yep.
Okay.
So they're keeping an all-female lineup for the Iron Dames. The other two Iron Lynx cars are still males. So you've got Iron Lynx as kind of the head umbrella team, and you've got the Iron Dames, which is their own all-female squad within Iron Lynx. I like their car. I've always liked the all-pink car. I think it's kind of cool.
Oh, yeah. And
we saw it at Sebring.
having the ladies drive is awesome as well.
Mm-hmm.
I wish that there was more female racing drivers.
Yeah.
But it's a male-dominated sport. Why are they making this switch, though?
Well, I don't necessarily have an exact answer for that, but I have some ideas. Iron Lynx, the kind of the umbrella team for the Iron Dames, is set to be potentially one of the main suitors for the Lamborghini LMDh program for 2024.
Ooh.
So, you see where I'm thinking with that.
Okay. This makes sense now.
This makes much more sense.
Get everybody in the car, get them accustomed to the team, the manufacturer, get it all working, gelling correctly. And then in 2024, bring out the Lamborghini LMDh car and go for the big class.
Sounds like what that is.
Yes. I think that this is a good move by them.
Uh-huh.
I think this is a great move by them, actually.
Yeah.
And they're not the first team to do this. This is somewhat normal for teams to do this.
Yep.
To have a season of essentially testing and making sure that everything personality-wise is working for the team.
Can we run as a team?
Right. And then once that's all sorted out, up to the big class you go, try to get overall wins.
Yep. That's what it sounds like.
Good.
Now, going back to Iron Dames making their debut this year, this is the first time the Iron Dames, or pretty much Iron Lynx for the most part, or Iron Dames in total, first time they've run in IMSA.
That's true.
They have not run IMSA before. They have only been WEC. So making the debut with the Rolex 24 is their first time running IMSA, and they are set to run a full Michelin Endurance Cup season. So not necessarily all the sprint races, but all the endurance races Iron Lynx is set for here.
Okay.
So good to see.
Yeah. Another car in those endurance races is always good.
Another GT car.
And I suspect that they will be competitive too. That's a good team.
They've been a decent team in WEC, the World Endurance Championship.
And you should. IMSA's had enough for our Lamborghinis in there, GT3 Lamborghinis, that should be pretty plug and play.
Mm-hmm.
But as we saw at Sebring, the paddocks are very split. They're very divided.
Yeah, between the WEC and IMSA.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
more than you would expect.
It's almost like if you're a fan of the show Stranger Things, you cross into the upside down. You cross like a dividing line, and it's like exactly the same, just a bit different.
A bit different.
Yeah. Like things are a little more redneck on one side than the other.
Now, does this mean that the Lamborghini will be coming to IMSA, the LMDh Lamborghini?
I don't know. That's a great question. I hope so.
I hope so as well. But the Ferrari is not coming to IMSA.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder why they're getting into IMSA now. I suspect that we're going to get a Lamborghini in IMSA.
Fingers crossed.
Yes.
Fingers crossed. And also, one more note, there is no announcement on which of the Iron Lynx cars are going to be GTD or GTD Pro. So they're running 3 cars.
Right.
They're running 2 male squads, 1 female squad, Iron Dames, right? There's no word on who's going where, which is going to be GTD Pro, which one's going to be GTD. We'll find out.
I wonder if they'll all be the same. Don't know.
We're all going to find out. Lexus made them not the same last year.
It's true.
Remember, there was a Lexus in GTD Pro and a Lexus in GTD.
In theory, the BOP is the same, correct?
I think so.
Okay, so it's just driver lineup.
Yep.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. So one cool event that did happen this past weekend that unfortunately I didn't get to get out to, and I don't think you did either, was a series called HSR, which is the Historic Sports Car Racing series, which my dad actually used to race HSR way back when in his old 911. But HSR had the Classic 24 at Daytona this past weekend, which is always a really cool event, just like the HSR Classic 12 at Sebring, which you and I have been to. But Classic 24 at Daytona that happened this past weekend, and there were some freaking sick cars. There was a Martini livery Porsche 917. There was you name it. There was let's see, the BMW Z4 GT3. There was a Ford GT. You name it. Some Lolas, everything. One of our old guests actually raced at this past Classic 24 at Daytona. Gino Manley. He and Open Throttle Racing brought out their Green Machine E92 M3 and raced in HSR in their M3, and it was pretty cool to watch.
The amount of diversity in this race is just unbelievable.
I remember you and I talked about that when you came out to Sebring with me. Like,
it's unbelievable.
Got old 914, got a brand new GT4 versus an older GT4. You've got some teams that use it just as a test. So
Right.
Samantha Tan Racing, I believe, was there using the Classic 24 as just a test. There was, you name it. It just, everything. There was a Mercedes SLS AMG GT3. There's a 935 back there. There was the, there's a C7R, Corvette C7R. There's 458 Aston Martin. And that's the actual KCMG Porsche GT3R that got tangled at Daytona this past year.
Yep.
Back at Daytona.
That's so cool. It is super cool to see all the diversity that they have in this series. And is this a straight up 24 hours? It's straight through 24?
Broken into different races, but yes.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, so they race at night. There's a C7R,
Yep.
right? Next to an older prototype.
An old LMP2 car. That's
Just
super cool.
Really, really cool to see the varieties. There's a BGB Motorsports. That's actually a regular 911 Carrera, the yellow one, that they turned into a race car.
And I bet you that getting into this event was like $10 for tickets.
Look at the old Corvette.
And I bet you that the paddock was open to anyone.
Yep.
And you could totally just wander around, talk to historic professional racing drivers that used to race Le Mans, Sebring, Daytona, anywhere and everywhere.
Yep.
And they were just super open access, and they
I
were
think
probably
the
really
tickets
relaxed.
were like maybe $20 or $25. Like
This is such good value.
100% worth it.
Yes.
And it's cool racing too. Like there's actual some decent, real, proper racing in it.
Yeah.
Like it's, I know, Jaguar E-Type. How
Jeez.
freaking sick is that? Look at the old the Daytona prototypes back there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, just God, that was one of my favorite BMW race cars ever. The Z4 GT3. Oh, I wish I could have gotten out of this because this is just such a freaking cool event.
Yes, it is.
Just every kind of old race car you can think of. There's a Trans Am car, right? Look at the old BMW. Look at it. Ah, I love it.
All right.
I
We can do
digress.
this forever.
Yeah. We should move on before I drool on the screen anymore.
Yes.
So let's actually stick with the whole sports car racing theme, though, because to get us a little more excited about this upcoming year, Cadillac just completed another test with their LMDh or their GTP car, and it was a 24-hour endurance test at Sebring. So, if you can run those cars for 24 hours straight at Sebring, then you'll be fine.
What's the saying? 12 hours at Sebring is way harder on a car than 24 at Le Mans. Yep.
I heard Porsche just did a 36-hour test there, too.
Think you're right.
Yeah. So that is par for the course for when you are testing a new car. You take it to Sebring, and you see when will it break.
Try to break it as many times as you can.
Break it and fix it as much as possible.
Yes.
And according to the article, and according to Cadillac, since the debut outing of this new GTP or LMDh car, it's called the Cadillac V LMDh, their new Cadillac prototype has ran over about 11,800 miles.
Wow.
That seems like a lot.
That is a lot.
Yeah.
Huh.
That's a lot of good testing miles. I guess they had, what was this? They had, 2 cars out for the test, I believe? And I think they had, I want to say 6 drivers out there. I know they had Renger van de Zande, Sebastian Bourdais, and then I believe potentially Scott Dixon sharing the load in 1 car, maybe. And then I think they had Alex Lynn, Richard Westbrook, and Earl Bamber in the others. And I think they also had Alexander Sims and Pippo Durrani on site just for maybe a couple of laps here or there.
Okay.
So some solid drivers.
I'm glad to see 2 cars out because I believe at the test at Road Atlanta, right after Petit Le Mans, they only had 1 car. I think each manufacturer only had 1 car out. But it's good to see 2 cars.
Yes, but we're only seeing 1 in IMSA.
Oh, really?
From my knowledge, they're going to do 1 in IMSA, 1 in the WEC. Kind of like how Corvette's doing.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
That's my understanding. I could very well be wrong, but I believe that's what's happening.
I would not be surprised to see 2 cars at Daytona and Sebring.
Correct, but the rest of the year, just
Right.
one.
Right.
That would make sense.
Yep.
But yeah, I am itching for them to get rid of this camo, though. This whole manufacturer camo.
I don't know. Is that proper camo on those
It is the
cars?
manufacturer camo, yeah.
Okay.
I'm ready for them to put a livery on it. Put a freaking livery on the car. I want to see it all painted up excitingly looking.
We've seen all the other cars, right?
Mm-hmm. Cadillac has not unveiled its livery yet.
Acura has, Ferrari has, all the other ones have. Yeah, that's just Cadillac.
Cadillac has not unveiled their livery, which is a shame because I want to see what the car looks like.
I'm sure it'll look good.
It will.
Yeah.
It won't look as good as the Porsche, but it will look good.
Oh, boy. All right.
Couldn't resist.
You got anything else?
Couldn't resist. So no other news. Do just want to quickly chat on the upcoming races to look forward to this weekend. This weekend, we've got a handful of good races. First race, we've got the FIA WEC. So they are racing the season finale. The 8 Hours of Bahrain, which is a very boring race. I hate that track so much. God, I hate that track so much. Porsche did give their GTE cars a new fancy livery for the, I guess, the swan song of it for at this race.
Okay.
It looked great. But, yeah, so not IMSA, WEC, they're wrapping their season up tonight, or not tonight, this weekend at Bahrain for the 8-hour race. Any notes on WEC?
I'm trying to see what the driver's standings. I think Toyota is in the lead.
They are.
Don't know if anyone else can.
No one's. I don't think it's even anywhere close.
I don't think anybody else can do anything.
I believe, really, we're just looking for a GT battle here.
Yeah, I think so.
That's the only thing we're looking at in WC. But F1 is back this weekend. F1 is back at Brazil at the Sao Paulo Grand Prix.
Yep, there are. I don't know if this is still happening, but in the last race, the Red Bull team protested communications against Sky Sports F1, which was very interesting.
I heard about that.
Citing the whole Lewis Hamilton should have won the championship last year. To be honest, he probably should have. But
no, he shouldn't have.
I mean, final corner, final race, shenanigans happened.
It wasn't that shenanigan-y. It was just a good race.
Just let the first 3 cars pass. Nobody else can pass.
Of course.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Nothing wrong with that. I see nothing wrong with that.
I don't really understand their reasoning for doing it now in the season. Like, the season is over. Why do the protest now? Why would you not do it in the middle of the season when it actually mattered?
I think it's because it doesn't matter and they know there's no repercussions.
So they don't really care that much about it then?
No, they don't.
It's just a...
I do laugh that Lewis Hamilton is touting his honorary Brazilian citizenship.
I didn't see that.
Oh, yeah, it's hilarious.
Oh, boy.
Hashtag blessed.
Oh,
Sorry.
boy.
Yeah. F1's at Brazil this weekend. All right. That's what we really need to know.
Okay.
One more little race to quickly mention is the FIM Superbikes. They are racing in Indonesia this weekend as well. And apart from those 3, so you got WEC, F1, and Superbikes, that's pretty much all the racing we got for this weekend.
It's winding down.
Yes, we are.
There's 2 races remaining in F1?
This and one more. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, so we're nearing the end of the season when the racing news episodes may become a bit shorter.
Oh, there's always drama. Don't you worry.
Fair point. So you got anything else to wrap us up here?
I do not.
All right, so that's going to wrap us up for episode 135. Thanks so much for watching and listening. If you're watching on YouTube, please leave a thumbs up and a comment on the video. Don't forget to hit subscribe, right? Let us know in the comments which race are you most excited to watch this weekend, the WEC or F1. Drop a comment. Let us know. If you're listening on audio, please do leave us a 5-star rating and a review on your platform of choice, so your Apples or Spotify's or Googles. Don't forget to follow us on social. Right? Facebook is We Are Auto. Instagram is We Are Auto _. YouTube is We Are Auto. And our website is weareauto.io. Please do check it out. You'll be able to see some of your favorite past races. Don't forget to sign up, and that way you can save your progress as you're watching them. So again, thanks so much for watching and listening. Catch you guys in the next one.
Peace.